When I learned about Canada's residential schools, it stood out to me that the children at the residential schools were always being abused.
When I learned about Canada's residential schools, it stood out to me that the parents would go to prison if they tried to hide their children.
When I learned about Canada's residential schools, it stood out to me that their parents got took to jail. The kids were way too young to go to a school and not be able to learn their own culture.
It stood out to me that they cut their hair.
They had to cut their hair when they entered the residential schools.
It stood out to me that they had to cut their hair.
The kids had to wake up as early as 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the morning.
The children had to do a lot of work.
What stood out to me about residential schools was that all the kids were losing weight because they weren't eating good food with enough nutrition.
There wasn't enough food for them, and the residential schools made the children believe that their culture was bad.
When I heard about the 215 children discovered at the Kamloops residential school, I felt really bad because they didn't deserve to be treated like that.
When I heard about the 215 children discovered at the residential school in Kamloops, I felt bad because none of those children deserve it.
When I heard about the 215 children, I was sad and surprised.
When I heard about the 215 children discovered at the residential school in Kamloops, I felt bad for them because they died for no reason.
I felt pretty bad for them because they didn't really get to live out their full life.
I felt sad for them, I felt bad for them, because some of them were as young as 3 and 4.
I felt sad when I heard about the 215 kids that were buried under Kamloops residential school because most of them were under the age of 8.
I felt kind of shocked.
I felt sad because those kids didn't go back to their parents.
A bunch of children weren't able to go back home to their families.
What I hope in the future is no violence, just peacefulness.
What I hope for the future is that all Indigenous people and tribes will be treated better.
What I hope for in the future is that the people in the reservations get treated a lot better, have clean water.
What I hope for the future is residential schools never happen again.
What I hope for in the future is no more abusing children.
People who knows that their children are there should get to see them one last time, or get to know that they're there.
In the future, I hope everyone can be treated equally with respect, no matter what their skin color is, what their race is, and what their culture is.
What I hope for in the future is that people are accepted for who they are, whether it's their culture, their race, and their gender identity.
What I hope for in the future is that in Canada we treat everybody equally.